Trusting Relics inaugural video. Inaugural, that's a hard word to say for me anyway. It's like on Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Adobe. Anyway, today we're going to head off to Ontario, California, the former site of the Ontario Motor Speedway. We're going to go where it once stood and go take a trip around the track and see what is there today. So it should be a little bit of fun. Anyway, off we go. Alright, we're heading westbound on the 10 freeway in Ontario, California. Right now we're going past the Ontario Mills Mall. And there's lots of people on the internet and all that think that that is the location of the former Ontario Motor Speedway. That is not the location. That was always just a field, vineyard. All this area was vineyards. Now as we come up, you see CarMax here. CarMax is actually turn one of the Ontario Motor Speedway. So as you were going past, you would have seen the high bank there on that corner where CarMax is. That's the beginning of turn one. And right past the Citizens Bank Arena sign, right about here, this is where the big sign for the Ontario Motor Speedway was. And it stood there for many years after the Speedway had been torn down. And I wish the sign was still there. Anyway, we're going to get off the freeway here at Haven and we'll regroup. See it?
Yeah.
All right, so here's a shot of the old Ontario Motor Speedway sign I took off the internet, and we're standing in about the same location as this picture was taken, although it was higher up, taken higher up. But today, this is what you see. Right about where you see the Travel America sign, that lines us up with where the Ontario Motor Speedway sign was, on this side of the freeway. Right out here where you see the green foliage right there. That's where that sign stood for so long. And honestly, I wish they would have never tore it down. I wonder where it is today. It was an awesome, huge, gigantic sign. Okay, here's a shot of the grandstand area of the Ontario Motor Speedway. And as I pull it down, you can see that the Citizens Bank Arena there, that'll be about the center of the track. So right on the other side of this street where this car drove by, that's where the embankment and the grandstands stood. So we will head off to the center back there right now. Okay, we've crossed Inland Empire Drive, which is that road right just beyond this water feature, and in the background there you see the vehicles traveling on the 10 freeway. We're looking south right now. This water feature that we're looking at is basically right where the main grandstands stood. And if we turn around and look north, we see Citizens Arena Bank, or Citizens Bank Arena. Oops. Anyway, right about there was the exact center of the racetrack, the center of the facility, the infield. And we're going to go take a look up there because that is the spot where Evel Knievel once did his jump. And we all know that Evel Knievel is just awesome. So let's head up there. Right now we're standing at this new water feature that they have. This is located between what is now the Mathis Brothers Furniture and this building over here. Go ahead and show that. Come back to me. Anyway, this water feature is right about where the start-finish line was for Ontario Motor Speedway. The track would run that way, which is easterly towards Milliken. And that would be turn one down there, and that's the next place we're going to hit. Okay, here we're on Inland Empire Boulevard. Right in front of us is CarMax. As we make our left here, this is what would have been turn one at Ontario Motor Speedway. The straightaway came down, you headed east, and right when you hit about where CarMax is, that's where turn one began. And it was a nice long sweep that ended up almost at Milliken, which is where we're heading now. We're heading Milliken and go see turn 2 right now. Okay, now we are at turn 2 of the Ontario Motor Speedway, which is basically the corner of Milliken and 4th Street in Ontario. Back in the day, right where I'm standing, would have basically been the middle of turn 2. And we'll head on down to turn 3 now. Okay, well right now we are basically in the smack dab in the middle of Ontario Motor Speedway, and this, by looking at pictures, is about the area, the spot where Evel Knievel did his jump. We're talking Evel freaking Knievel, and great American hero in my opinion. So this is the spot. Now we are standing in what is now this abandoned or open field. This is the area that would have been turn 3 at Ontario Motor Speedway. It's interesting if you look on Google Maps and you look basically at the corner of Haven Avenue and 4th Street on what would be the southeast corner, you can see kind of a line of where turn 3 was. In fact, as you look here, you see the embankment? That's about all that's left of Ontario Motor Speedway, is this embankment back here. This is part of the original embankment. It ran, I mean, so close up against the intersection of Haven and 4th Street. But this is all that really remains of the original grading of the racetrack. See, here we go. You're heading westbound. You see that berm there? That's the berm of turn 3 at Ontario Motor Speedway. I'm gonna take a walk up to that berm right now. Okay, here we're heading up towards this this berm. It'd be awful cool to find some relic out here, but I'm sure I'm not the first guy to ever be out here. So any relics would be gone. Probably long gone, or else buried. It'd be kind of fun to bring a metal detector out here and find an old lug nut or something cool off of Dale Earnhardt's car. But anyway, here we are going up the berm. How cool is that? How cool is that? It'd be nice to find an old piece of the blacktop, the asphalt. I don't know if I will though. Right up here, corner of Haven and 4th Street in Ontario. There's something over there on the hill. Piece of trash. We've got a bit of some rain gutter here. Somebody tagged up real nice. Be nice if I could read it. I don't know. Duke, what do I know? Anyway, turn 3 of Ontario Motor Speedway. Heading up the berm. Oh! And they've got it all fenced off from the street, so the way I got in here was I came from the inside off of Concourse Street. And over here is a bunch of condos they built right at the beginning of turn 3. That's looking east, and as we look south, you see that the brown building right there. That's basically where turn 4 was. Here's some kind of ruins over here. Let's see what they say. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. Ontario Center. It's like a concrete sign. East Ontario Center. How trippy. To look up from Google Earth and see if you can actually zoom in and see this sign. Here's a piece of the letters, some lettering that got broke off. And this is I believe a sign, some signage that was put up right about the time they were demolishing the track and trying to make plans to put up this Ontario Centre. It's a concrete sign with rebar. So yeah, no chance of me dragging this sign home, as much as I'd love to. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Here's another piece here that looks like it maybe had some lettering on it at one time or another. Nothing now. I'm going to stomp around here a little more for a minute. There's some round concrete remnants. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it was a logo piece or something. Got some bushes over here. An old pole. Looks like maybe it was part of a racetrack. Hey, there's a car left out here at the old Ontario Motor Speedway. I think I'm taking that with me. Wonder what that is. It's cool. I'll take it. Look at this old fencing here, old pole. Some barbed wire. I don't want to get caught up on that, that's for sure. Back here's some bushes and anybody in there? Hello? Some pillows. Pillows and a blanket, so this is somebody's home. I guess homie must live here. Old palm tree. Pygmy palm. Telephone pole. Another piece of pole, fencing. Who knows if this wasn't part of the original fencing to keep you out of Ontario Motor Speedway. I bet it probably could be. And they just never came out this far to tear it down. Piece of the fencing. Nuts and bolts. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. There's a piece of brick here by the barbed wire. I'm gonna cut myself. Here we got a pile of asphalt still here at turn 3. Now who knows if this was, you know, scraped up and piled up here and just left, or if it was dumped from another site. I mean, really no way of knowing. But I would imagine, with as much as here, this was probably part of the track and got dug up and piled up here, but never picked up and hauled away. Interesting. Here's somebody's bed and home here in turn 3 at Ontario Motor Speedway. Kind of creepy. Bugles. All right, here you see a picture of Ted Nugent. You're asking yourself, Ontario Motor Speedway, why am I looking at a picture of Ted Nugent? Well, this spot right here, right in the corner of where this condo complex is, right here, facing east, was the stage for Cal Jam 1 in 1974 and Cal Jam 2 in 1978. In 1974 at Cal Jam 1, bands that were there were Rare Earth, Earth, Wind and Fire, Black Oak, Arkansas, Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, and Emerson, Lake and Palmer. And then 4 years later, in 1978, it was March 18th, 1978, I was there, was Cal Jam 2. They had Rubicon, Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush, Hart was there, Bob Welsh was there, Ted Nugent was there, Aerosmith was there. I don't know if I said Santana. Santana was there. Huge concert, over 100,000 people. We came in, it was a Saturday concert. We came in at Friday night, spent the night on the ground with a blanket. Sun came up in the morning. Actually, it came up this way in the east. The sun rose. The music started playing. KMET was the sponsor. And they played Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles. And it was so loud, waking me up. And within the hour, I had reached into the ice chest and grabbed a sandwich bag and tore it up into pieces and stuffed it in my ears because it was so freaking loud. But it's kind of cool. On the corner of this condo complex, which right out here to my left, or to my right, would have been the lake at one time. There was 2 lakes on the property. And right at the tip of the lake is where the stage sat. Ted Nugent was right here. It's 1978. Doing Cat Scratch Fever, and we were all screaming, and it was awesome. Okay, as we're heading away from where the stage was, and I was talking about all the bands that played on that stage, those 2 awesome concerts, I just started thinking about Ted Nugent. I just wanted to put in my 2 cents. Ted Nugent, great American hero. Just a true American, that guy. God, guns, and guitars. It doesn't get any better than that. Ted, keep fighting the good fight. Thanks. Okay, well, we're wrapping up here with our little tour of Ontario Motor Speedway. What once was Ontario Motor Speedway. This is the back side of this building here, which is basically at Haven and Inland Empire Drive, or Inland Empire Center Drive, I guess it's called. Anyway, this would be turn 4 of the Ontario Motor Speedway. If you look back that way at those condos, that's where we just were, where the stage was for Cal Jam 1 and Cal Jam 2 in 74 and 78. Another little bit of trivia here is at the grand opening, I think it was 1970, of the Ontario Motor Speedway. Not former president, he was actually governor at the time. Governor Ronald Reagan was here at the facility to dedicate it and open it. And another true American, Ronald Reagan. Loved the guy, best president ever. I just imagine him being here and going, "Well, gentlemen, start your engines, mommy." That's my bad impression of Ronald Reagan. It's more like an impression of Ronald Reagan as done by Adam the Woo. But anyway, Adam the Woo, if you don't know him, look him up. Google the guy. It's not illegal. Google him and find out who he is. Great. Hey, if you enjoyed that video, or even if you didn't, go ahead and go to Rusting Relics on Facebook and like us. We do all kinds of stuff on there. And like I say, this was our first video, but we go and pick a lot of places and go to a lot of car shows and do a lot of cool stuff. So go on there and like us.